Pattern Shop, and today we're going to learn how to sew neck binding onto a t-shirt. I've already made my t-shirt using the Grand Slam pattern from Peekaboo Pattern Shop, and now I'm ready to attach the neck binding. So I have my neck binding cut out, and you really want to remember to have the stretch going this way across the piece so that it has enough stretch to fit over the child's head. So now with the right sides of the fabric together, we're going to sew these two short edges together. I used my serger for this project, but you could also use a standard sewing machine. You just need to use a stretch stitch or a zigzag stitch so you still have enough stretch for your project. So now that we have this sewn into a loop, we're going to take this and fold it over on itself so the seam is hidden and the wrong sides of the fabric are now together. Now our band is double thickness and we're ready to attach it to the t-shirt. So I find the seam in my band, then I like to find the center back of my t-shirt neckline. I'm going to pin this right here. And then to find the center front point on my neck binding, I just hold it out like this and pinch the middle point, and then I'm going to attach that to the center front of the t-shirt. Now that I have that pinned, I'm going to stretch it out to the side. Make sure that I have that nicely stretched evenly across the piece. And then I just pinch right in the middle there and pin that in place. Go across to the other side, stretch out the neck binding, and pin in place. You want to make sure you are only stretching the binding and not your t-shirt, or you'll get a wavy neckline. And at this point, if you notice you didn't have to stretch your fabric very much, or you had to stretch it way too much, you can always adjust the length of your neck binding piece a bit because it will vary some with the type of fabric. So I like to sew my neck binding on with my presser foot on the inside of the shirt. Since I'm using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, I am going to be trimming a little bit off as I go around. So you can see I'm stretching this neck binding fabric here on the bottom just enough so that the t-shirt fabric is laying nice and flat, but it's not being stretched out. Once I've gone all the way around here, I'm just going to go right off the edge. And then I like to wiggle my project off, flip it back around, and sew over those same stitches once more. And that locks all those stitches in so I can just clip the threads. To top stitch my neckline, I find it easiest to turn the shirt inside out first. And I'm going to be using my cover stitch machine for this step, but you could also use a regular sewing machine with either your zigzag stitch or with a double needle, which will give you the same look as a cover stitch machine. So I'm going to slide the neckline right under the cover stitch. And I like to start in the back. And I'm just going to sew this seam allowance right here to the body of the t-shirt. You want to make sure you're not stretching your t-shirt out at all so you don't end up with any wavy seams. once you have that finished, you'll want to turn your shirt right side out and then go give it a good press with your iron, and that will really help set those stitches and help any stretching that happened, just spring it back into shape. And there's your finished t-shirt.